Hello everybody and everybody else. My name is ScrypKat and this is ScrypKat Says. On this channel we take a look at First Amendment auditors, sovereign citizens, cop watchers, cop baiters, and Karens from a slightly different angle. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. I read every comment I receive and appreciate every one of them. You all have given me many great ideas. Keep your eye on the channel. You might see one of your suggestions come to life. Last week we talked about societal and social boundaries, which include laws, statutes, codes, and ordinances. This week let's look at personal boundaries and why it's a good idea to have them. I find in my browsing through YouTube nonsense that First and Second Amendment auditors and Karens are the worst offenders when it comes to crossing those personal boundaries we all share. For example, most folks' line in the sand measures about 18 inches from their nose and all the way around themselves. Crossing this boundary might get your face slapped. There are those of us who abhor cursing or foul language and will walk away should such behavior begin, and that's one of the core actions we all need to learn: walking away. It's very difficult to do, especially when pea-brains are throwing verbal jabs like dismissed or walk of shame, walk of shame. Yes, they need their faces slapped. However, at that moment, will slapping them end the mischief? Usually not. Self-discipline and self-control should have been learned while they were being potty trained.
Warren Buffett, one of the richest men on the planet, once said, "The difference between successful people and really successful people is those really successful people say no to almost everything." Quite confusing. Wouldn't saying yes open more doors? But then, this is the problem. Too many choices often lead to inaction. No clearly defines your territory. No means my well-being is a priority. Have you ever found yourself saying yes when you really wanted to say no? Feeling guilty for saying no? Keeping silent when someone didn't treat you well? Giving too much effort to be liked? Saying yes is fine if it's in alignment with your values. But saying yes because you were too scared to say no is no way to earn anyone's respect, least of all your own. Saying no and setting boundaries is sane. It shows that we are sturdy and stable and know how to take care of ourselves. Without boundaries, you just float through life like a leaf blown by the wind. When you try to make everyone happy, you usually end up making no one happy. So it's to everyone's advantage to practice effective selfishness. But how do you set healthy boundaries? The first step is to identify your needs. What makes you feel good and what makes you feel bad? If you are a people pleaser, you might have to give yourself permission to acknowledge your needs and thus disappoint people. The second step is to define your boundaries. They are like the gatekeepers, selecting who and what you want in your inner circle. We allow things that we find helpful, healthy, or conducive to our growth. Healthy boundaries are permeable, not too tight and not too loose. The third step is to communicate your boundaries. How do you enforce them? Speak up? Retreat? Take legal action? Ask? Open and honest communication helps clarify appropriate boundaries. For example, when your meditation practice is important to you, turn your phone off and ask your flatmates not to interrupt you. The fourth step is to overcome guilt. If you are afraid to disappoint people, you might feel guilty about setting boundaries. It clears space, and this can be uncomfortable, but space is a great healer. If guilt comes up for you, allow it space. The fifth step is to trust yourself. Saying no when it's appropriate shows that you take care of yourself based on your needs and priorities that are current. And finally, have patience. Setting boundaries allows the space necessary for transformation to occur. You are developing your relationship with your inner wisdom, so forgive yourself and be patient as you learn a new skill.
So here I am setting boundaries. No videos of frauditors, Karens, or soft-sits in the last two videos because, well, I'm rather sick of them right now. However, Keeping It Criminal suggested this theme of boundaries, so take it away, Kick.
Hey guys, it's Kick. I just recently went to the Soon Fat Chinese takeaway. I wanted to make sure that my family could eat, so I brought all 12 of them along. I mean, they closed in 5 minutes, so we definitely got there before they closed. I don't seem to understand why they wouldn't serve us. I mean, it's not like that we're trying to order for a wedding or this huge 100 or 200 person venue. I'm just trying to feed my family. And they told me I had to leave. They had already cleaned the kitchen. They weren't taking any orders except for pickup the next day. I don't work so that way I could sit around and go, delicious air. I've got people to feed. Don't they even think about us? Oh my God, can you stop? Some people are trying to sleep and it's 6 p.m. You know, I live next door to this guy and I've been here for 10 years. Every day at 6 p.m., he revs up his motorcycle. I mean, he is completely inept when it comes to who he lives by, why they live the way that they do, what we do, what our schedules are. It's as if he doesn't care about how his actions affect other people. And I know why he does it, too. It's just to get back at me. I'm playing my drums at 3 a.m. because that's when I'm awake. That's what musicians do. Okay? He just needs to learn to accept it.
That's the ticket. Me. Well, folks, that's it for this week. Join me next week when I take a look at entitlement. Yeah, I know. Remember, ScrypKat says, when given a choice, choose to be kind. Hey, get off my lawn!